Hi, this is estate planning lawyer Michael Pevney, and in this video we are going to talk about how to choose a trustee for your trust or an executor for your will. But before that, if you're interested in estate planning information, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, and ask an estate planning question in the comments. I'm usually able to respond to them. So, the trustee of a trust or the executor of a will is basically the person that is in charge of administering your estate once you are gone. That's put in the most simple terms. For most of my clients, I create for them a trust, a revocable living trust. Now, the person that creates the trust, you and your spouse, or just you if you're single, are the initial trustees because you control everything in it. But then the question is, who do you pick to be the next trustee to distribute this stuff once you're gone? And if your estate is passing by way of a will, who's going to be the executor of that estate? Who's responsible for passing all of this stuff along? So first, they need to be financially responsible. They need to be able to, the old-fashioned way would be balance their checkbook. Does anybody balance their checkbook anymore? I don't. Everything's online. But somebody who maybe in the past has balanced their checkbook, who isn't in a lot of debt, who maybe keeps a budget, something like that. Somebody that is financially responsible. It's got to be somebody that is going to follow the rules that you set out in your trust or in your will. That's going to give the stuff that you want to the people that you want. Now, if your stuff's in a trust and the stuff needs to stay in that trust and be divided and distributed out slowly over time, this person has to be willing and able to do that. And that brings me to number 3, you've got to trust them, right? They don't have to be a genius, but you've got to trust them. And sometimes if people have, several kids, sometimes we expect, oh, well, the oldest is going to be the trustee. The oldest is going to be the executor. But you can really pick whoever you want. And it's totally up to you because estate planning is all about choice. It's all about you having choice and control about what happens to your stuff after you're gone and passed away and what's going to happen to that stuff and with a trust over time. So you have to trust these people. Now, it's always good to have alternates in place, at least one alternate, usually 2 alternates, because if your trustee or your executor passes away before you do, or they're medically incapacitated, or they are unable to, or if they just don't want to, right? There's no law that says you have to be the trustee if somebody else appoints you trustee or executor, because they can just say no. Like, I've got a lot going on in my life. I've got kids to deal with and stuff, and I don't want to have to deal with all of this right now. They can say no. So we need to have alternates. But one of the most important things, as long as they sort of fill all those requirements, is that while they do have to be trustworthy, and they do have to be financially responsible, they don't have to be a genius. Because when it comes to a trust, especially, they can get help. If a trust is going to exist for a while, and for families that I create estate plans for with kids and want to protect some of that property from things like bankruptcy or divorce or maybe just bad decisions, that trust is going to exist for a while. And that trust is going to have to pay taxes. And that trust may need to invest in asset-producing assets, whether that's real estate or stocks or mutual funds or whatever that is. So the trustee has the power on behalf of the trust to hire other professionals. The trustee can hire an accountant. The trustee can hire an investment advisor. The trustee can hire a lawyer to help them administer that trust. And within the trust documentation, it says all the duties of the trustee, and it also says what they have the ability to do. So while a trustee or an executor should be somebody that you trust, it should be somebody that is financially responsible, and it should be somebody that is willing to follow the rules and execute exactly what you said in these documents. They don't have to be an absolute financial genius. And that's basically how you choose a trustee or an executor. If you've got questions about this or anything else related to estate planning, you can set up a time to meet with me for free if you live in California by following the link in the description and going to ocestateplanlawyer.com. Thanks for your time and thanks for your attention.